Hi there. I am live. I'm here a little bit early. I was going to sneak out before we started because I'm here early because last time I was late and I'm still trying to figure out YouTube Live. But I think I'm doing a whole lot better. Um, we are going to get there eventually. It's so hysterically funny. I had someone comment on my YouTube, "Do you need a manager?" It's like, lady, I need more than a manager. I was like, jeez. But you know what? I showed up this year. I'm like, it was so not perfect, not even close. And I didn't know what I was doing. And you guys like were so supportive and I just had to let go. And it's like it just didn't matter because if everything had to be perfect, I probably wouldn't have started this. And it's been good for me just to connect with you. And like I say, it's been a little one-sided this next year. I really intend to get this chat thing going so we can have a lot more interaction. And I think it's going to be simple, actually. Um, yeah, so truly, like, give yourself compassion. Um, Look as we reflect back on the year, what is it that you showed up to? Like, and maybe no one even knew, but that you did. Um, because things that, let's see, how do I want to say this? The quote, big things that events that are so miraculous and amazing that fall into our lives. Honestly, it is those little unseen moments that no one ever saw that you practiced and you did again and again and again. Um, and so when the thing happened that you didn't expect or that you expected or that you hoped for, you look back and go, but nobody knows. Nobody knows all those days that I envisioned with a joyful heart. And I saw this even when everything around me was in chaos or crumbling, or looked nothing like what what I saw in my heart that I wanted to create, that I wanted to live. So, yeah, truly, life is a moment to moment thing. And the more we get to be in our joyful, like I don't mean happy, crazy, off the charts. I just mean that deep inner joy of that heart vision that you have inside of you that brings you joy. Like the thought of that, being living that dream, that desire, it's all the same. Um, it's your soul speaking to you, all of that. Uh, yeah, it's those little moments that are creating the outcome. And then when that happens, we're expansive. Like energy never stops. Life never stops. Like even a physical death, life is not stopping. Um, I think I never ever would have imagined that a physical death of a beloved would still not be a death. Like it's just another dimension of love and of life that we walk through. And I was thinking this morning, I can honestly say I am more free And I am happier than I've ever been. And because freedom is happiness, like my heart feels light. I miss Dawn? Yes, I do. And that physical being, but Dawn's, I say it all the time, like Dawn's right here. Like he's, there's a very live presence because our spirit never dies. So it is 11:01. Oh, so let's begin. Let's just begin with breathing. Just noticing our sacred, holy, miraculous breath that is arising in this moment from no thing, filling you up. And as you exhale and let go, the next breath arises. So your breath could only be God's breath, living and breathing within you. And so you can say this: I am the breath of God. Because you are. And can we just relax into these moments right now, being very aware of the breath of life that is breathing us, that is the breath of love, that is the breath of God. God is love, love is God. Whatever word you want to use, it is that very presence that, like Michael Beckwith says, is never in absence, never in absence. So welcome. It's New Year's Eve 2024. Oh my gosh, what a year. Like we did it. And wow. So before I even start, I want to, you're at my table, you're at my kitchen table having tea with me today because I woke up this morning and everything was covered with a blanket of snow and it's melted now, a lot of it, like the trees. And I hope you can see the windows that I look through that are so, oh, it's so incredible looking through those windows no matter what time of day it is. Like this is winter, like to look out this morning and see the trees with like that much snow on them and everything covered with this stillness of purity of white. And I thought to myself, wow, what a gift. What a gift to have 2024 be blanketed with the most perfect, pure white snow. Like the only thing showing in 2024 being covered with this blanket of snow is beauty. Still, silent, innocent beauty. And that's the blank canvas that we get to start 2025 on. Um, Beauty. Like everything in 2024 is covered in the perfection of love itself. And the only thing that we get to begin with is beauty, to begin to create our new year of 2025. It beauty beauty is truth. And I don't know of anyone that beauty doesn't open your heart and where you feel your heart, um, where you can feel your heart. Because sometimes we're numb and we just can't feel. But there's something about beauty that brings us into the awe of life, at least for me. I remember we used to live on the Oregon coast, and we would go to the valley a couple hours away and go through the redwoods to get there. And it was so beautiful, just the drive from the coast there. I had my son with me at that time, and we were coming back. And yeah, I don't know why it was just me and him, not our family, but whatever. So, um, but I will never forget, like he was like 8 or 9 years old, and we came down through the redwoods and we turned onto Highway 101 along the coast, going north on Oregon, and he looked over at the ocean and the sun was shining, and you know how the light can make this diamond sparkles on the water and the waves slowly coming in, and he said, like out of the blue, like it was just, we weren't even talking, but out of the blue, he said, "Oh, Mom, isn't that just so beautiful?" He said, his little 8 or 9 year old soul said, "I think we take beauty for granted." I thought of that this morning and was just like, oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. So if nothing else, look for beauty because it's anywhere. It's anywhere. Like if you don't have things around you, like just looking up into the vast sky, clouds are not like, oh, that is beauty. That is beauty, the vastness of space that we really are. We're in this form and we made of that. It's such an incredible life. So you're probably like me, you've been reflecting over your year. And I, I said in my post, how many times have you, when were the times that you followed your heart? And that really was the key. It is the key. It's absolutely the key because we've been so told to minimize what our heart feels. But I remind you again and again that the voice of your heart is the voice of your soul. It is your inner child. Your inner child is your soul. And the only language that the heart speaks is to feel. So when you are feeling something, you are being led by the truth of your soul. And so I just want to encourage you to do whatever it takes to feel your heart, even bit by bit. And yes, we've been hurt, but even the hurt in our heart is a dimension and a depth of love. You know, grief, grief is that. It's the most incredible, deepest love. Um, so when I was reflecting over my year, and I just want to share my story and because hopefully it will resonate with you to notice your own life. Because honestly, so when I look at my last year or this year, 2024, there were four significant choices, heart choices that I made in 2024. And as I'm talking to you right now, and as I've even reflected in the last 24 hours or so. I don't even know. I don't even know where I would be. I don't think I would be talking to that we would be having conversation and we would be having this connection. I don't, I can't, I just don't know. But it would be very different. It would be very different. And in every one of those choice points, um, so like I said at the beginning, every moment is a choice point, but there's some moments that we choose that for me, and I'm just thinking that we're all human. There were times when I almost didn't make that choice. Um, because my mind got in the way. And every time it was a choice that did not make sense, not at all, not whatsoever, did not make sense. And calculating it really looked like it would be a mistake. So I just want to remind you that when you're choosing your heart, and you keep choosing your heart, eventually your mind will silence and move behind your heart so it relaxes into the vision of your heart and it knows how to then follow your heart and draw to you what you are wanting to create and live because you came here to live your most fabulous, wonderful life. So this story is coming to mind. I just got to say it because, and it's my Reiki teacher again, which is so fascinating. Anyway, so I'm in Reiki class, and she walks by, and of course she can read energy really well, and she's like, "Teresa, why do you think you came here?" And I I don't even think there was a very long pause, and I just said, "For my kids." And she was silent. She said, "Teresa, you came here to live your life." You know what? I don't even know if I remember anything else about my Reiki class except for the conversation she had in my last episode that we talked about last week, or and this one. Maybe there's other things, but these were significant. I'll never forget them. Like, you came here to live your life. So she wasn't saying go abandon your kids, but she could read my energy that my whole life was so focused on my kids. Like, I wanted to be the best mom, the best wife, the most perfect family. Like, it was really important for me at that moment to have the facade of being the best. And I genuinely did want to be the best mom. I truly, truly did. But to me, that was this helicopter mom where my kids could hardly even move. Like, I had so much fear myself, and I wanted to save them from anything that would hurt them. And it did not serve them. It did not serve them. And she could see so clearly, like, if you just step into living your life, you're going to let them live theirs. And I'm here to tell you that that was one of the hardest things. And my kids are adults, and I'm still working on that. Like, anyway, but what I want to say about that is I'm not sure how I digress there, but what's interesting is I was so into my head, like looking the part, doing everything that, you're supposed to do. But guess what? I was in Reiki class. So I was listening to my heart to a point that I was in Reiki class because I was always drawn to energy. So trust your heart. It's always working for you. It's always leading you. And the more times that we actually follow our heart, the freer we become, the more exciting our life gets, the more joy, like a wellspring of joy that is bubbling up even in the hardest of times. It's not like you have a smile on your face, happy, but there is an element of joy that is everlasting that that and a deep peace. I I don't know, you know, I'm sure you've probably experienced what that is. And the deeper we walk into life and the more we follow our heart, the more we know that freedom, that it isn't about changing things around us to fit us, to make us happy. It is us moving into that place of being authentically us, authentically who we are, following, which is following your heart. So, yeah, so I was started to tell you just about those. I am going to just kind of go through those four choices that I had. Um, I think. Anyway, the first one, okay, because this is why I wanted to point out is that they weren't choices to learn more in my head, like learn something. Like if I were to learn this method or learn this thing, then everything would work out for me. Like I've been in that place before. I just need to learn this. There's something in my head, something mentally, intellectually. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that was my mind. Like these choice points had to do with my heart. So the first one was taking a year-long mentoring journey that I knew would support my heart, like the visions of my heart. Like it would help me stay connected to what I knew I wanted. Like I saw so clearly in my heart. So I don't know where I'd be today with that. I can say that with every single one. But that was such significant because it was every month. There was something new that I connected with, that brought me back to my heart, that held me, that it was amazing. So I'm so grateful for that. And the other one was actually early, I think it was in the summer, late summer. So like halfway through the year. I get this, I'm literally relaxing. And I get this text. I pick up this text, and it is my midwife that midwifed both of our children. I hadn't heard from her really in years, but she was an incredible midwife, like incredible. Um, but her path had led her to become a shaman. And so she was introducing this 3-day retreat or 2-day retreat. I don't know. I picked it up. Anyway, here's what I wanted to point out. How you know it's your heart. So I picked it up and I read the text. I looked at the image and I started to cry. Like I had no idea I was going to start to cry, but the tears just started rolling. I could feel my heart, like my heart was saying, yes, go. That made absolutely no sense whatsoever, really, to go. The idea of connecting with her was glorious, but it was meant that I was going to need to go to where we had raised our family, where we had had our business as a couple, and we oof, the most incredibly amazing, beautiful memories and hard times and mostly just heartwarming times. Like I it meant I would need to go visit there, and I hadn't visited there since Dawn uh, had transitioned. Um, it was a half hour from that place, our hometown where we raised our kids. I knew if I said yes, that meant that I would need to go there. And I called it walking through the fire. Like I was going to need to face all those memories without Dawn. And, but he was going to be there. I knew he was going to be there. but I wouldn't be walking the Redwood Trail with him like we'd done before, and I wouldn't be walking in the ocean beaches like I had before in physical form. Um, so so anyway, I said yes. And everything else, really, the timing wasn't great. Financially was, just so many things. Just why would you do that? But I knew I had to. My heart was pulling me there. I walked through that, and it was the most healing experience I could have done for myself. And then the actual retreat itself, where there were two shamans. There was a shaman there that was the mentor of my midwife, who was a shaman, and he was a Native American. And there was, I think, 10 of us in that place. It was so intimate and so sacred. I got to I got to heal um, my loss of Dawn in the most gentle, incredible way with the most beautiful family. Like, because there was only 10 of us, we became a family forever. And that held me. uh, That held me through the rest of the year. It will always hold me. And I'm so grateful for that. Um, the the third thing, so I'm leaving that event, and my heart is so tender, so open, so full, so connected, so grateful. And it was a long drive. It was like a 16-hour drive for me. But I'm on the road coming back, and there was an overpass, and there was this truck I will never forget that was driving across the overpass just as I was coming up to it, and it had written huge letters on it, SOAR, SOAR. And I thought, thank you. And I'm just wanting to remind you that life is always for you, and life is always giving you signs. Life is always speaking to you. And that truck driving across that overpass at that moment, after I'd left that amazing retreat, was soar. Now you can soar, Theresa. Soar. Just, just like lift your wings and soar. Okay, so then I get home, and it's kind of like catch up a little bit. uh, you know, I'd been gone, and anyway, and 2 or 3 weeks later, I get this invitation to go on this 2-day retreat in Southern California. And I thought, nah, I'm just, no, I've just got back. I'm full. I just need to integrate. Not doing it. Well, I think it was a week before this event. It was like, no, you're going. You need to go. Like, there was this heart pull, go. Nothing made sense on any level and layer. The timing, the money, oh my gosh, it just did not make a bit of sense. But I knew the voice of my heart. I knew that tug. I knew I needed to go, and I didn't know why. I mean, my mind wanted to kind of make up things, but at this point, I'm like, I'm not even questioning. I'm just going. And that was one of the most miraculous um, events for me. Nothing spectacular, huge, but the exact thing that I needed so that I could soar. Then I could literally launch my heart vision. Literally. Like, I can't even tell you the things that happened there that were so synchronistic, that were like It's time. It's time. And so, um, yeah, so that's because I followed my heart. And it brings me to this because you're looking through, if you can see it, I hope you can, my windows, and way in the building, way, way, way in the back, it's kind of small, is the barn. And you'll see the circular building closer. That's the silo. Um, so behind that silo is is a foundation for a silo. There's two of them actually. They're just circular foundations. So when I walk that path, like I would walk it every day, I still walk that path. I love that path. So you walk down to the barn, it's quite a few yards. Um, and it was in the winter like this. And I'm walking down the barn. Um, I think I was grabbing some hay because we had the most amazing Scottish Highland cows at the time. And I love to feed them. So I went to the barn and I was coming back holding this hay and I looked over at that silo foundation and I thought to myself, that would make the most amazing labyrinth. And I'm like, I don't even hardly know what a labyrinth is. Like I had walked one, but it was like this seed that was planted in my heart that I got so excited about. Like, I can't, like seriously, I came in and I Googled labyrinth makers in um, just labyrinth makers because I had no idea how to make a labyrinth. You know, I knew it was a circular design that looked like a maze, and I didn't even know that it always led to the heart, the center. I didn't, there's nothing I knew really about it, is that I had walked one at a retreat and it was, I mean, I don't really even remember it being that eventful except that I had walked it. But anyway, I was excited. So sure enough, there was Marty and Debbie Keenan, and they popped up. I sent them a letter. I'm like, "Do you do this?" And they responded so quick, and we've just become friends. And that was like 3 years ago. And I kept this in my heart. So many things were in my life were moving and shifting, and but this seed to create this labyrinth happened way back then. And then one day, like, I don't know, a year and a half later, it was like, you need to put crystals underneath the surface of that labyrinth, 1,000 crystals, and match it with 1,000 blessings from all over the world. Invite people from all over the world in every language, have them write in their own language a simple blessing and match it with a crystal and put it under the surface of this labyrinth, this beautiful, ancient, sacred path that is healing in itself. But to have crystals that amplify the blessing as you walk, 1,000 of them from all over the world where we have united as one. And the amplification of the crystals, because that's what crystals do, are amplifying through the universe. But you're right here, right now, walking this labyrinth step by step for you, for what's going on with you. And 1,000 prayers are whole, 1,000 blessings, 1,000 crystals, pure, holy, healing you, grounding you to the center of the universe. Like that excites me. That's my heart vision. And because it's set up here that I get to have guests here, and people can come for a day, people can come for days, people, and they can feel this love. They can feel this peace. They can feel their heart. Because as we move into more artificial everything, artificial intelligence, it's going to be that already is so close to the real thing, but nothing can take the place of your heart. Nothing. But you got to feel it. And so that's my, I don't know if you get tired of me hearing it, but that's my thing. Like feel your heart, whatever it takes. And this year, like, may you know that your heart knows, Your heart knows. One of my favorite saying Native American proverbs is listen to the wind, it talks. Listen to the silence, it speaks. And listen to your heart, it knows. And if I could wish anything for you in 2025, it would be that you would feel your heart, you would know your heart, you would listen to your heart, you would follow your heart and live your most joyful, beautiful, magnificent life. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for standing by, for walking with me as I started this. Tuesdays too with tea with Theresa. I'm so grateful you're here. I'm so grateful to connect with you, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.